And shout out to Shammers. So Sham just hit us in the face with 2 trades back to back. The first one, Myles Turner signing with the Milwaukee Bucks. Myles Turner wanted to stay a Pacer. He's been with the team longer than anybody else on that squad. And they just made it to Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Of course, Halliburton did blow out his Achilles, so he's probably going to be gone for the majority, if not the entire season. But still, like, wouldn't you want to keep your guys together? That being said, Milwaukee just came up because they lost Brook Lopez. So now they traded the older model for a newer one. Of course, Myles Turner isn't really a rebounder, but he's younger. He's more athletic. He can block shots just the same. And he's better on offense altogether. So I think this is a come up for Milwaukee. And I mean, let's be honest, even if Halliburton was back on the Pacers, they weren't winning a championship next year. I mean, so many things had to go exactly right. Game winner after game winner, buzzer after buzzer, injury after injury for the Pacers to even make it to the NBA Finals. So maybe they just understood that next season was probably not going to work for them. And on top of all of this is, of course, money. You know, this allows the Pacers to get beneath the tax. So a lot of teams are breaking up, a la Boston Celtics, if they can't win right now, because it doesn't make sense spending all that money on a team that's just going to be mediocre. And the Pacers, without Halliburton, that's a mediocre team. Even with Halliburton, they're above mediocre, but they're not as good as they looked in these playoffs. I personally don't think so. I think they played really, really well, and they had a flaming hot streak, but I don't think that is them consistently. I don't think that's their identity. And so it says here, Turner has agreed to a 4-year, $107 million deal with the Bucks, plus a player option for year 4, 2028 to 2029, and a full 15% trade kicker. And so with that being said, Damian Lillard has been waived, which is heartbreaking, to say the least. I mean, Giannis came out, said he was upset about that trade and about the way they waived Dame Lillard. However, when Adrian Griffin got laid off, Giannis had a lot of the similar things to say about that.
You know, you build a relationship with people, and all of a sudden, boom, them, you know, they're not here. For a coach like Griff, I think from day one, everything was about togetherness. Was always leading this group, you know, into the direction that we set in the beginning of the year, and him not being here at the end of the day, you know, like we're human. It hurts.
You and I both know that feels a lot like some PR. The Bucks are a better team now without Dame, and I don't think they should have ever traded for Dame in the first place. They lacked so much defense once they made that trade, and if they had kept Drew Holiday, I mean, would they have won another championship? Who knows? But I think that Dame Lillard contract has definitely come back to haunt them. And they have 0 playoff series wins to show for it. I mean, you pay Dame a ton of money. He's owed about $113 million on his contract, and they have to pay out the rest of that because nobody's taking that, especially from a player with a blown out Achilles at his age. People are already saying like his career might be done. He's not going to be able to come back and be the same Dame from before. He's already 34 years old. And for a guy who relies so much on his quickness, his first step, he is going to come back, but he won't be the same Dame. Luckily, he's a jump shooter, and he shoots a lot of threes, so he can, you know, fall back on that and maybe still play for a couple more seasons. But the Dame of past, the Dame of 71 points in a game over at Portland, those days are gone. So like I said, I mean, from the beginning, them trading for Dame was just a harsh decision, and they didn't think it through, and it wasn't good then, and it certainly is terrible now. The Bucks also picked up Jericho Sims, a lob threat. He's kind of like prime DeAndre Jordan, you know what I mean? Able to jump out the gym, really big guy, but doesn't really have anything else in terms of an offensive game. But we'll see. He's still pretty young. We'll see what happens there. So they have two bigs over there in Milwaukee, and it's basically the Giannis show out there. But another trade that really confused me was the Denver Nuggets. I mean, the Denver Nuggets signed Jonas Valanciunas for Dario Saric. So now Dario Saric is over there with the Sacramento Kings, and Jonas Valanciunas is with the Denver Nuggets. This is a great signing for the Denver Nuggets to have a backup big behind Jokic, and Jonas can play heavy minutes. He can play starter minutes. He can score. He has a small offensive package. He can play some defense. He's not that quick, just like Jokic. However, he's better on defense than Jokic for sure. So that's great for them to have a backup big. They also re-signed Bruce Brown, and they got rid of Michael Porter Jr. to bring in Cameron Johnson. So, I mean, you took a 3-point threat who didn't really give you the D.
Pause.
And then you got another 3-point threat, not as good of a 3-point threat. So you lose a little with the offense there, but you gain with the defense. So Cameron Johnson can still shoot some threes, and he has a broader offensive package, I would say, than Michael Porter Jr. Because Michael Porter Jr. is just hanging at the 3-point line 99% of the time. But then also you get the defense there. So I think that's an upgrade for Denver, getting Bruce Brown, Cameron Johnson, and now Jonas Valanciunas. But I'm just like, Sacramento, why would you want Dario Saric? Denver didn't even throw any picks into this trade. So they just got Dario Saric, a guy who hasn't played in forever, and when he does play, do y'all remember anything significant about Dario Saric in the last 5 years? Why would you pick that guy up? Yo, the Sacramento Kings constantly have me scratching my head. What is that organization doing? I don't know, but y'all let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Myles Turner trade. You think it's an upgrade for the Bucks? I think it is. It's unfortunate what's happening to the Pacers, but this second apron and the way they have the tax situation set up, the luxury tax situation set up for the league now, yo, the window to win a championship is so tiny, and it closes just like that. Look at Boston. Their windows close already after one injury and one poor playoff performance after they won a championship. Yo. Like, even for the Thunder, even though they have probably the biggest margin of error in terms of winning another championship or losing and coming back, even for them, it's small. This second apron thing is lethal. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the two trades. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And until next time.